Hey there, guys and girls. How are we doing today? Today's going to be pull day. Thankfully, I was able to get back outside today and knock out this workout. It was a really nice day. I was feeling a lot better. Yesterday I was feeling a lot better than I was the day before. Well, today I'm feeling a lot better than I was yesterday. So it's a good trend I'm having so far over this past weekend. I had a lot of flu-like symptoms, like body aches, joint aches, weakness, fatigue, fever, chills, things like that. So that was why I took a few days off on making the training videos. Had to focus on getting over that ugly stuff. But anyways, today was a pretty nice day. Still don't know if I had 100% of my strength back, but I felt like my performance was pretty good on these, and surprisingly, I feel like I was quite a bit leaner today as well, despite all the excess cortisol I have had here lately during my times of stress. And speaking of stress, on top of that, the last quarter pharmacy school, at least the didactic portion, and didactic being the lecture classes, has started as of today. So I'm sure that will be some extra stress to deal with. But hey, it's just another day in my life. Ain't nothing new. Let's just keep it going. We'll get there eventually. I got one more year of pharmacy school left, and then I can feel like an adult and work a job like everybody else. Anyways, today was about 70 degrees Fahrenheit, somewhere around 19-20 degrees Celsius here in eastern Kentucky. It was a little cool breeze, sunny, just overall nice day. It's kind of starting to get to the time of the year where all the the little flying critters are out, that being birds and bees and little other bugs and things. I hate wasps or things that sting you. I'm not a huge fan of spiders, but as long as the spiders keep to themselves, I won't bother them. If I see a bumblebee, that's a pollinator. His job is to pollinate the flowers, as is a lot of the other little types of bees. So I'm pretty good friends with them as well. But when I see a wasp or a yellow jacket, I'm not sure what those insects are called in other areas of the world, or if those insects exist in other areas of the world. I am a bio major, but it was more health science related instead of typically what you would think of when you think of biology. Regardless, I can respect all forms of life, and like I was saying, it was a nice day, and I felt like I was one with nature when I was outside training, is what I'm getting at with my long, drawn-out story here. It was nice to be one with nature and coexist with all the little bugs and the birds, and just seeing the beautiful forms of life on this wonderful planet that we are so blessed to be able to be part of. Don't get me wrong, I do understand there's a lot of ugly things that go on in the world. In my opinion, those things are pretty much all the result of mankind. But I'm not here to talk with you about that kind of stuff. We're here to talk about calisthenics. Today being being pull day, and here I am still on the warm-up phase. I've been trying to speed up these clips a bit more and cut down the time of my videos, and I feel like I've been doing a pretty decent job at that. I've been trying to get all the videos under 20 minutes, and I've been doing, I think, pretty well, but skill day might be right at 20 minutes, but that's okay. Skill day's a longer day. We're cranking up the intensity of that warm-up. We typically just do like a light stretch, and then we do a 6-rep band warm-up. And then we get into these little warm-up circuits where I hit some associated exercises, like milder exercises, at least for me at my skill level. I don't want to sound too arrogant when I say that. I am nowhere near the top of the skill level. Just these things like pull-ups and push-ups and just a regular handstand and things like that are generally pretty easy for me. So I throw those in to a little circuit sometimes, depending on what day it is, to be the last thing I do in my warm-up before I get into skill training. And in that previous clip, you saw me do some leg-assisted one-arm pull-up, which is also kind of part of a warm-up. Here I'm getting into 2-finger assistance, one-arm pull-up, and then I'm dropping down into a 90-degree lock-off. I think in future attempts, I may separate the 90-degree lock-offs into a completely separate clip, separate attempt. I'm telling you guys, the key to strength and just great things in calisthenics is take it slow. Look at how slowly I transferred my weight from my feet to my dominant pulling arm in both of those previous 2-finger assisted one-arm pull-ups. I did not jump into the exercise. I did not jump into the attempt. There was no rapid shifts of weight. There was no shock on the joints, no sudden loads. It was just a slow, gradual transfer, 0 to 100 real slow instead of 0 to 100 real quick. That will do nice things for your body long term. If you want to be able to do this stuff, when you get 30, 40, 50, 60 plus years old, listen to your body, take care of yourselves. When I was younger, I was a teenager and I was first starting some of this stuff. There was, pretty much everything. I jumped into it real fast. I tried to rush through my training. I thought I was unstoppable. I'm sure a lot of the older guys and girls can definitely understand what I'm saying. And if you're a younger guy or girl, just take it slow. Don't be in such a hurry. Don't be chasing rep numbers. Instead, everyone should be chasing quality, rep quality, not quantity. What you should sacrifice on is rep quantity, and what you should never sacrifice on is rep quality. That being said, we're into the working sets now. And this is what I'm talking about. I think here I really focused rep quality. I think I could have done a better job of keeping my feet together and toes pointed. But other than that, I think everything looked pretty good on those. I was trying to explode up and then slowly come down. Not super slow. That's what this negative here is going to be about. A little micro rest break. And then I try to get up as high as I can, really squeezing it. And, this isn't as long as I possibly could have held it, if my life was on the line. But it was, it was getting there. I probably couldn't have held on a whole lot longer. I think I might try to train to maybe around 80 to 90% of failure rate. And I think that's a pretty healthy number. If you train harder than that, I'm not sure how much more gain you're going to be getting compared to how much longer it's going to take you to recover from the exercises, if you understand what I'm saying. Not really sure if it's worth it to do that. That's what I'm getting at. Here's the second set. I think I hit quite a few more reps on this one. I'm not sure if I was sacrificing quality. to chase that higher rep number, or if I had just got my nervous system dialed in and woken up when I hit that previous set. I had taken a little walk around the neighborhood in between those two sets, probably around 5 minutes rest break. So I'm not sure, but I definitely felt like I did quite a bit better on this one. And then, of course, I do that little micro rest, and I'm going to hit a negative at the end of the set to really maximize that, that time under tension. Time under tension is what makes you stronger. It is not hitting certain rep numbers. Everybody thinks that they have to hit so many reps of, certain exercises to be able to do certain things, and that is complete nonsense. Just pick you some basic building blocks like pull-ups, push-ups, dips, and those should be the exercises that you always focus regardless of your skill level. Just as your skill level increases and as your fitness level increases, you will do things like add weight and add resistance to increase the difficulty of those simple basic exercises over time. Should always be chasing just time under tension with those basic exercises. And then your skill training can be the cool looking stuff like one arm pull-ups, muscle ups, front lever, human flag, all that stuff you see me do, and or should I say all that stuff you see me try to do and you see the more advanced athletes actually do. Speaking of which, I decided to go up a band on this one so I'd have a little bit more help, a little bit more assistance on these body weight rows. Also, that green band that I was using in the previous clip is broken, so I have to hold it quite a bit differently than I can hold this blue band, and I feel like that kind of sacrifices some of my grip on the bar. If you'll notice, my form here is a lot better. And the band is helping me more, but I feel like I have a lot better grip. I can hold on a lot better like this. Was definitely feeling that. Definitely feeling that in my arm muscles, my back, my lats, but also in my hands. As you could see there, for just a sec, my palms had a lot of the chalk worn off of them. Alrighty, so here lately, if you've watched my videos, you have noticed, hopefully, that when I try a 360 spin over, whether it's to the forearms or to the hands, I typically, or almost always, my pants and my shirt get wrapped around the bar, kind of trapping me up on the bar. So today I decided I was going to try and tuck my shirt into my pants and see how that went. And here's how it went. You can see I'm so gassed I can't even do a regular muscle up. So I have to try it again with a little bit of chicken wing. There's to the forearms. Pants were barely caught. But it seemed like it did help to tuck in the shirt. I was shaking my head because I was just so gassed at this point. I was, my muscles were cooked. I was not prepared to do any more attempts of that. So like I always say, you got to know when to call it, when to draw the line, when to call it a day, and decide to come back for next time. So we just go into stretching out, shaking things out, decompressing the spine. And you can see there I'm pretty fatigued. Sticking out the tongue like the doggos do when they're resting as well. It doesn't matter what training day it is for you guys. Always stretch your whole body. Always, be working on your flexibility. I've been kind of slacking. I do a lot more flexibility training than you see in these videos. I go inside and I lay in my floor and I do lots of different stretches. I work on the splits and lots of things I don't even know what they're called. But things I've picked up from martial arts training, things I've seen people do in yoga, just various various things over the years. I may make a video on that at some point, but I've been slacking on that quite a bit, and I think part of that has been where I've been so ill lately. But I'll definitely need to try to get back into hitting that a few times a week. But anyways, what I was going to say is it doesn't matter what training day it is for you guys. Always stretch your whole body. Always stretch out your whole body. But say it's pull day, you might want to focus on those areas of your body a bit more than, say, your ankles or something, or your hips. But no matter what you're doing in calisthenics, you will always be using every part of your body, head to toe, at least to some extent. So always stretch out and warm up everything. Just focus on the muscle groups that you'll be focusing that day with your training. But anyways, that's all I have for today. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave those below. Thank you guys for watching. Happy training and take care. Bye-bye.